Hello, Taurus. My name's Antoinette. All right, this will be your reading. I'm just getting the cards together. I actually should have had them ready, but I feel like everything happens the way it should. So I don't know if this is going to resonate with some of you. It's like you may have wanted to make some kind of change in your life. It's like you went to them for like advice is what I'm hearing. And it's like you're realizing like, okay, so something like that you went to your friends about would be really good for you, really healing. And you're realizing like your friends really don't, this could be family too, that really just doesn't want what's best for you. And it's for some of you, I'm feeling like, I'm told to look through these. And it's like, I see 444. I don't know if that'll resonate just on my radio. But it's like something that, it's like you're sitting here thinking like this, whatever decision this would have been for you, it's like, it would have been really good for you. Very healing. Stepping out of your comfort zone, I'm hearing. And it's like, they pretty much just like, no, there's no way, like it's not meant to be. It's like, but you're realizing like they just want to keep you like toxic, codependent like them, I'm hearing. Or they don't sorry or they don't want you to be happy. It's like this decision would have made you really happy, and it's like you're realizing that they're not happy, so maybe they don't want you to be happy. It's like you're waking up to your friends aren't really your friends is what I'm hearing. Alright, hang on. And it's like, I almost feel like you were really hyped about this decision, because you knew it was really good for you, and they like made you like think. I'm hearing think twice about it, like be careful, like. But it's like, but the reason why they said be careful, because I feel like there, could have had to have, maybe been. I hate salad, but it's like maybe some changes would have had to have been made. But it's like these changes would have been like really for your highest good, I'm hearing. And it's like instead of wanting to see you excel, ascend, I'm hearing, they wanted to keep you in karmic energy. And I feel like for some of these friends, it's like they may need, like, you might pay for a lot of people. This is for someone. It's like, it's like you may, like, let's say you party a lot, or I'm hearing maybe even sleep around a lot. It's like, but I feel like the partying, like paying for the party is what I'm hearing, is like the reason why they didn't want you to make this change. So I feel like this change, it's like, but I feel like you were happy to make this change. Like you were more than willing to make, this change that was for your highest good. And it's like, they want to stay attached to you, I'm seeing. It's like you felt like whatever decision this was going to make, it was like, I'm hearing a divine blessing. It's like, when you, I went through this too. So it's like my friends, when I started going through my ascension and my awakening, like they didn't want me, to get better, to do better, because then they would have to, it's like, and when I did it anyway. And it's like, who does she think she is? But the reason, it wasn't really anything like towards me, but what it really was it made them like have to look at themselves. It's like when they see me making, all these changes, and I'm not saying like partying specifically, because I'm a shaman, so we do, some not so regular practices when it comes to that. But like, there were certain things, at a point in time, like I cut off and I wasn't doing, and it's like they almost had like realized how toxic they were, when I quit doing these things. It's like I was still trying to hang out with them, and it's like they were almost uncomfortable with me being there, because it's like they had to look at them like, wow, she's she's making all these changes, and she's doing so much better, and so it's like they don't want to see you do better, because then they have to look at themselves and realize like how broken they really are, or how like not willing to change and evolve, and it's like it became like a jealous thing, because the changes I was making was for my highest good, like that's when you find out who your real friends are, is when you're wanting to make decisions that are best for you, and they don't want you to make those decisions, because they some people really just aren't interested in growing and making changes, breaking these generational curses that we were put here to break. A lot of people are just like, oh, I don't care. Let my children carry this burden, kind of like thing. It's like they don't want to put in the effort it's going to take to heal their bloodline. And I feel like you're wanting to do things, that not only benefit you, but benefit others. This could be one specific person, this could be a lot of people. So let's say you're like an influencer like me, and let's say like you wanted to make this decision, but it's like they didn't want you to. But so like let's say you have nieces, let's say you have children. I feel like most of you have children, and it's like your children would be like, man, like let's say you're a dad, and you wanted, like let's say your kid's seen you in like really toxic relationships, and they're just like, they don't believe in love because they never really witnessed it, except for through you. And let's say this was like a decision that was going to bring true love, like into your life, and it's like you would have given people hope around you. I feel like you're already, I'm hearing, it's like you outshine your friends anyway, and I feel like it's not just for some of you, it's financially, your career may outshine them anyway, so it's like there's already like a level of envy I'm hearing. So it's like when you start doing that healing, it's like you ascend to a whole other level, and it's like that's when the envy kicks in. So I feel like that's the case. They want to stay attached to you. It's wow, what I just heard. It's like this was a blessing that you were willing to work for. It's like you're doing the healing work, and it's like they may have felt like you didn't deserve the blessing. I felt like you were really hyped about something, and it's like they were like, nah, just don't. Just stay in, whatever toxicity you're sitting in. It's okay. Like, that's where we want you. That's what I'm really getting. They don't want to see you grow, because I feel like there will be a level of peace that they may never achieve, because like I said, a lot of people don't want to put in the work. And if they know that they aren't willing to put in that work, why would they want that for you? Like I said, that's when you find out who your real friends are. I feel like this is important to somebody. But I feel like you're being led. It's like, for some of you, you guys are getting like dream, number synchronicity, like I just said, I looked at. So it's like they're not willing to put in the effort to make themselves grow, So it's like, I feel like you're already looked at as a leader. People look up to you. And it's like you're being led. This could be through dreams, messages like mine. It could be, people around you. And I feel like you're making a decision. I feel like you're realizing, like I said, who your real friends and family are. Family isn't always, I know growing up, like I used to always hear blood's thicker than water, but when you go through an awakening, you actually realize that strangers like online are your best friends that have your best interest, and your best friends that you thought you had your whole life really don't have. It's like you start going through an awakening, like your discernment, kicks in, and it's like for me, I can hear people's thoughts, and like I can feel everything. So it's like when you start going through your awakening, you have gifts to kick in, and even if it's just intuition, it's like you learn, like they never really were your friends to begin with, or your family even. So it's like they would rather see you do negative things, stay in toxic cycles, because like I said, they don't want to do what it takes to get, for some of you this is love, true love, and for some of you this is a career, take it as it resonates. But whatever it is, like, they don't want you to have it because they know they're not willing to put in the work to have it. I feel like, it's like for some of you, like, they may have wanted you to go back to an ex that's for someone. And, like, that's your true love. But I feel like that person keeps you in a low vibrational state. And it makes it easier for them to be able to. So for some of you, you were thinking about taking a leap of faith towards somebody is your true love, and reaching out is what I'm hearing. It's like you're meant to be with this person. You've actually been with this. For some of you, you've been with this person in other lives. Okay, here's what I'm getting. Scratch that. That could be for somebody, but I feel like the person you're with currently, or you just ended things with, I'm hearing, they are a past life karmic. And this, or for some of you that are ending a relationship or ended a relationship, this person's like a karmic. They keep you in really low vibrational energy. I feel like you're really drained around them, exhausted. I'm hearing mentally, physically, even like you don't even want to socialize, and I feel like you're a very social person. That's for some of you. And you may be realizing it, and this could be pertaining to your friends as well. It's like you're realizing, like, I have to love me more. If you're ending it with somebody who keeps you in low vibrational state, that you're drained around all the time, and it's like they're karmic. That's their kind of like duty in life, I guess. but it's like don't be angry with them. But the truth is, it's like, this takes me to that saying, forgive the people who didn't know how to love you. They were just teaching you how to love yourself. So it's like that person was put in your life to make you, to pretty much make you miserable, so that you can be like, you know what, I love me enough. Like, I'd rather be on my own and be at peace than to be stressed the fuck out with you. So it's like, you have to love you first. So I feel like if you're ending something, whether this be with friend group, family, a lover, it's like you're realizing, like, I love me more than this. Like, even if you guys don't support me on this decision I'm wanting to make, I love me enough to just not go back to what I'm used to and go after what I want, is what I'm hearing. I feel like this person, I'm not saying that they're not your type, but it's like they're different. For some of you, you may have like a difference in, like religious backgrounds. Like you may have grown up religious and they're spiritual. That may have been like the big thing that, like, so if this is family, that's why they didn't want you to. This could be friends as well. But I feel like, if this is the case and you're, grew up like religious, I'm hearing she's a witch. Sorry, that's funny. My family says that about me too, but really I'm trying to help people heal. So it's like, if that's the case, this person's like helping you heal. Yeah, for some of you, like, you're realizing like it would be, so like, let's say your whole family like always dated like really toxic women and men even, I'm hearing. It's like you're realizing like, I'm gonna break this curse. I'm hearing you say that, like, I'm gonna break this cycle. Take a risk, I'm hearing. I feel like when I say a risk, I don't feel like it's a forced risk. Like, it's something it's like you want to run towards this thing. You want to, like, jump off the cliff, but in a good way, if that makes sense. Expect powerful change, step out of the comfort zone. Communication is key. So what I'm getting with these 3 cards, it's, yeah, you may be going out of your comfort zone, but so I feel like you're wanting to communicate with this person. I'm hearing do it, because like, I feel like you don't want to see this person with anybody else. That, or you have to close out a cycle first. This could be, with an ex. This could be within yourself. Like I said, it could be, accepting the difference between, your religious background and your spiritual. If that's the case, like me, I'm spiritual. I actually grew up, like, my dad was a youth minister, so it's like I grew up religious. But the thing that kind of like I didn't like about, the people I grew up around or went to church with, it's like if anybody, had like a different idea of who God was to them, like they were automatically wrong and they were going to burn in hell. And I hated that, because I'm like, in order for anybody to go to hell, number one, that means God created them specifically to go to hell, because even with free will, he knew what decision you were going to make. So that means he purposely made a child to go to hell. So I'm just like, that made no damn sense. Okay, so it's like, when you're like, I'm spiritual and I'm a shaman, high priestess, it's like spiritual people don't, I know I myself, it's like, here's what I think about like religion and spirituality. I know a lot of people who go to church, like Monday through Sunday, and it's like they're so busy like judging everybody else for sinning differently. My nose is itching at spirit confirming, and it's like, a sin's a sin, right? I mean, if you go by that, so it's like, they're, the only judge is God according to your, religious beliefs. So who are you to judge anybody? Like, and me being spiritual, it's like I used to be like that too, that's the funny part. But then it was like, I realized that we're all like children of the divine, and he loves us all. And I also noticed, like, if you go by by what, I'm not even gonna say the Bible, society has planned for you, it's like you have to work a 9 to 5. The Matrix pretty much is what I'm getting at. It's like, go to work, eat, sleep, shit, repeat. So that's like another thing. I'm like, no, like I do not believe that that's the destiny that God has for all his children, is to be a slave to man. So that's like how I look at it. And it's like, I don't know, I look at like different religions, and it's like, I don't believe that that's God's plan for us. I believe that everyone has their very own destiny, and like personal relationship with the divine. You know what I mean? Like, he may be somebody completely different to you than he is to me. And I find that very beautiful, like, to think that, you know, God took time, the divine, call him what you will, you know, and it's like, took time to create a whole destiny that's specifically for you to walk in, and to kind of just walk hand in hand with him and her, however you want to look at it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we can't even say God's a man. We can't even say God's a woman. God's so much, to me, the divine is so much more than anything we could ever fathom, right? So it's like, just like walking hand in hand with him, and, you know, going on your own little journey with him. And, you know, he may say something's bad for you, but it's good for me. You know what I mean? Like, I just look at, I see him for who, I see the divine for who the divine is. Let's put it that way. And I really just don't think that what I grew up believing I was destined to do is my destiny all. You know, it's like, he has so much more for us. It's like we limit ourselves. You know, what the man, like government, you know, has told us. Like, I don't believe that. Like, I feel like, you know, what we were taught, like, growing up is so limited. Like, people put boundaries on God. Does that not sound crazy to you? Like, when they go to a doctor, it's like, they have a sick, like, let's say somebody has cancer and they remove, like, a body, you know, part of their body. God gave you, see, it amazes me because my, like, faith in the divine is so different from, like, anybody I know, actually. We kind of giggle about that. And, you know, it's like, the divine can do anything. The divine is the creator of all things. All things. Literally, look at how many birds there are, or how many different trees, or, you know, it's like everything is, you know, rooted from the divine, created. And it's like, people put limits on, you know, the divine, and we kind of laugh about that because my husband is a spirit confirmed. It's like, let's say that were the case, right? Like, let's say a woman had cancer and they're like, you're never gonna have children again, and she's crying, and, you know, it is a horrible thing to feel that way. But okay, that's a man telling you that you will never have kids again, right? But you're a believer in God of some sort, right? So because a man, a doctor, told you you'll never have kids again, you believe it, you automatically quit trying for kids. Most people who have cancer, they want more kids. And it's like, they let that doctor speak death over their dream, because let's say they do want more kids, and the doctor's saying, no, you can't have any more. Okay, so you can do one of two things with that. You can either A, accept that and make that a contract, per se, with the fact that you can't ever have kids again because a doctor told you. Or you can believe that the divine is the creator of all things, and he gave you that first uterus, the first, you know, ovaries. You can believe that, right? What makes you think he can't give you a second? So you can either A, let him in your dreams, or, second option, you can know that the divine created the first, you know, reproductive organs, and that he can give you another one. So it's like you have one of two choices. You can either have faith in what a man spoke over you, or have faith in your higher power, the creator to you, that they can give you a new one. People, me and God kind of laugh about that, because I know personally God is the creator of all things. So anything that he birthed once, he can birth a million times. But that's my faith in God. You know, we kind of laugh because he's like, he thinks my faith's so beautiful. Because he's like, people don't understand. They believe that I created the heavens and the earth. But they don't believe that if they lost their reproductive organs, that I can give them more. He says, the only limits I have in people's lives are the ones they put on me. Spirit said, say that again. The only limits I have in anyone's life are the ones they put on me. We kind of laugh because it's like the divine only asks, like, faith the size of a mustard seed, right? And me, I'm like, Papa, you can do anything. Like, anything. Like, I know you can. You're the creator of all things. There's nothing you can't do. You know? And he kind of giggles. He's like, most people, all I ask is faith the size of a mustard seed. He's like, you have faith the size of mountains. To me, that's so beautiful because he's so right. Like, I don't care what a man, a doctor, like woman doctor, whatever, take it as it resonates, like speaks over my life. I'm not going to let nobody, not one person, speak death over my dreams. Whether it's having more children, calling in, you know, a love interest that, you know, most people would consider being impossible for me. Like, I don't believe that. Like, I believe that, you know, I give out, you know, good. I help people heal and I put good out. So it's like, I believe I can manifest the world if I want to. Excuse me, I was about to belch at Spirit confirming, but it's like, the only limits people have in their lives for God, you know, God, the divine, call him it as you will, are the ones that we create for God. That's crazy, huh? I believe that words are spells. Like, even if you go by the Bible, the tongue has the power to create life and death, right? Which is, you know, some people call it praying, others call it manifesting. You know, speaking life into things, speaking death over things. Call it what you will, but it's like, I believe I can speak anything to existence as long as it aligns with my highest good and I'm aligned with it. Like, I'm putting good out, so why can't I call the most beautiful things in? So, yeah, I know it was a lot, but I felt called to say it, so I need to hear it. Okay, 1 second. Thank you. Calling in your soulmate. Forgiving and learning in the reverse. Playfulness in the reverse. So I feel like you really, it's like this person, if this is a person, you're taking this person like seriously, like they're your person. I feel like there's an ex that keeps trying to attach themselves to you, and it's a burden to you. They make you question yourself, actually. It's not good. Confusion is never of the divine, just so you know. So what I'm getting from this is, like I said before, you have to love yourself, because I feel like if you're honest with yourself, the person you're attached to currently, or that keeps trying to, you know, I feel like you guys have dated for a while and then break up, dated for a while, break up. It's like that person's put in your life to like reject you so you can choose you. I feel like they don't want you to move on, and it's like they keep pulling you back, like using different tactics. But I feel like this is getting really old to you. I feel like you want something, like it sounds like me up until I've been single for like 3 years. But it's like, damn near 3 years. But it's, you know, my last person, they treated me really bad, but You know, it's like I couldn't be the victim to it, because it's like I dated that same spirit in different, you know, a few different bodies before that, you know, him. And it's like, I can't blame, I mean, he didn't have a right to treat me the way he did or do me the way he did, but it's like at the same time, like, I stayed with him while he, like, okay, this is an example. This is a true story. I found I had cancer, and, like, you know, my appointment is like, oh, we're gonna be together, and I'm gonna, you know, I didn't even want to do the treatments. I was like, I'm just done. Like, I don't have it in me to go through chemo and radiation. I just don't. There was so much going on in my life at that point. Now I was just like, no, let it take me. Which is, you know, I'm glad I did do the treatments, you know. But it's like he promised to go through that battle with me. And it's like, I drove to, I'd like to say like 95, if not more, % of my treatments Monday through Friday. Over an hour there and back. Like an hour and 20 minutes plus. It's like, but I continue to fight, you know, and I feel like, and I know he feels bad for that now, but it's like, I'm thankful for it, because now I know, like, I fought, and I just seen 111, I fought cancer alone while fighting a million spirits in my life, you know, him doing what he was doing, you know, my family, you know, just, so I had so many, like, negative energies fighting against me, and I was fighting for my own life, and I got up every day, even when I didn't know how I got there. Like, I know God drove the car half the time, like, I don't even remember, you know, half the drive, like, and it's like, but I did it. I was able to, you know. It was like time for me and the divine to take a journey by ourselves, you know. It's like, for once, instead of being codependent on a toxic person, you know, spirit, I'm just gonna say, it's like I walked hand in hand with the divine, and it's like a love story almost. Like, he's like, lean on me for a bit, you know. Let's heal, you know, realize, like, don't be the victim to, like, the spirit that's been hopping from body to body to body, like, and I haven't even been with very many people, but it's like that same spirit, you know. It's like the same person, different skin, you know what I mean? And it was like, he's like, let's break the cycle, you know. It's like, you've been pouring in so much love into these people who don't even know how to love you, but the reason why they don't know how to love you is because they don't know how to love themselves. And right now they're teaching you how to love yourself, because if you're honest with yourself at this point, you don't, you know. And if I'm honest with myself, like, I didn't love me back then, because if I loved me, would I have, you know, been with somebody who, you know, brought women in the house and slept with them while I was in the bathroom or driving to my treatments, like, or even before him, you know, guys that, you know, would put their hands on me and downgrade me, like, and I would stay and stay and stay. Like, did I really love me? I didn't, because if I did, I wouldn't have entertained that hot mess for a minute, you know. And it was like a test, like, and I passed it. Now I'm like, everybody's like, you know, why you're single? Why are you single? I'm single because I love myself. Let me say that again. I'm single because I love me. Have I tried to go out on dates and meet people? Sure. But then I realized, like, we're just not energetically matched. Like, I don't want to say demand, but I can say that. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about, I know what I want, and I don't want money. I don't want fame. I don't want fortune, even though I know that's in the cards for me later. I really wouldn't care if it was. What I want and what I've always wanted is a man to just love me the way I love, you know, to crave me the way I crave, to put in the effort that I put in, you know, like, be my equal, you know, instead of me feeding a connection all the time that just drains me, like, but it took for me to realize, like, all these people only mistreated me because I allowed them to. That's a hard pill to swallow, you know, because I feel like society's made it so acceptable for us to, like, be a victim and stay, you know, in these toxic patterns, like, poor me. If it's poor you, then you don't ever realize the part you played in your suffering. And when you do that, you don't ever heal because you're never really being honest with yourself, you know? That's a hard pill to swallow. But I swallowed it, and yeah, people were like, been single, you know, for, yeah, you're right. And I will remain that way until I don't want money, like I said. And guys that I've dated will tell you, like, she does not want money. She does not want your money. She's not impressed by money. She's not impressed by cars. She's not impressed by drug. Like, you can have everything, like, in the physical, and she won't care about that. She's going to care about your heart. But it's like a journey. An awakening is about truth. Like, there is no, like, lying to yourself. There is no anybody lying to you. When you go through an awakening, it's like, we've been asleep this whole time. And, like, when you start going through your awakening, it's like you realize you were told who to be since the day you were born. How you were going to eat, sleep, work, shit. You know, who to date, how to dress, how to address people. Like, we were pre-programmed. I want to say that versus say it again. We were pre-programmed since the beginning. So, like, an awakening is waking up from who you were told to be your entire life. Like, let's say you're famous. They're like, you want to date a regular girl. That's unacceptable. You know, but is it? Because that regular girl is probably going to love you a lot differently than the other ritzy people. You know, or, you know, even just like, when you go through an awakening, it's like you quit seeing money. You quit believing what you hear. And it's like your discernment kicks in, and people can't lie to you anymore. You know, it's like everybody's masks come off. I don't care if it comes down to your damn mom. That's a tough pill to swallow. You want to talk about? Yeah, that is. But it's like, when you start going through an awakening, you don't only realize exactly who you are, you realize who everybody around you is. And that's the even scarier part. Because the truth is most of us we were supposed to be woke. You know, our parents were supposed to be woke before us to kind of like lead the way, you know, but it's like that didn't happen. So it's like divine. I call him my Papa God, but like, it's like he stepped in and he was like, no, come here. Like, come on my hand. Let's get through this. I'll be with you every step of the way. Do you trust me? He said. And I said, yeah. But I said, yeah. Life got really rough. But it's like today, you know, I won't entertain words. I've never really been impressed by money or cars or anything like that. I've never been a superficial person. But it's like now, I have this, you know, it's like, I'm trying to think of I had a bunch of curses to break. I'm still trying to break some of them things for my family, but it's like being a people pleaser. You know, like I said, let's say you know, or let's say you're a celebrity and you want to date a regular, you know, what people around you would call a regular person. But you see their spirit, and it's like you realize that regular person is so much richer in other ways that the people around you can't even imagine. you know, and it's like, that was a curse I had to break, is, you know, people pleasing, like going to others for opinions. Half these people aren't even happy in their lives. Their marriages aren't even good. If they're on the, you know, I'm honest with myself and my friends. Why would I ever go to them about who to date or what to do? Or they don't even make these decisions correctly for themselves. How are they going to make them right for me, you know? So it's like, you go through an awakening and you're no longer blinded. You know, the veil is lifted and you see everything for what it is, instead of what we've always been taught it to be, you know? It's like, life's just so different. And it's like, yeah, I spend every day alone. You know, but unless I'm with my kids, but it's like, I'm at peace. You know, I know exactly who I am, and I make my own decisions. You know, I use my discernment, and I walk in my truth, even if my family's really religious. And it's like, I'm not gonna fight with you. Yeah, I read tarot. I'm helping people heal. You don't have to understand. I understand that you grew up in a generation that thinks people like me are evil, and that's fine. But if you want to stay in my life, we just don't need to talk about this, because I'm not going to back down. I know that this is my personal journey with God. It may not be for you, but this is mine, and I will defend it no matter who likes it. But that's me walking in my truth. That's me standing up for myself and what I believe in and who I know I am. I don't need them to tell me who I am. I don't need them to tell me, you know, if I'm making the right decision. I don't need them to tell me how to love or who to love, because they don't even love them. How are they going to, they don't even love their husbands or wives. So it's like, how are they going to tell me what's a good decision for me to make for a love partner? I fully depend on my intuition and what I know. You know, I make my own decisions, and I ride my own wave, and I create my own lane instead of staying in the two that we're taught to take right and wrong. I'm like, no, let me create this own little wave of my own to ride, you know, make my own decisions, do my own thing, my own way, be who I know I am, who I'm being called to be. And everybody around me does not have to accept it. If they don't like what's in my life, they don't have to be there. You know, it's like, do I want my family to stay in my life? Yeah. But am I going to wear a mask to please them? Hell no. Because that takes me out of my truth. And it took me years, up until like the last 3 years, to even have a clue to who I really am. I'm not gonna wear a mask for anybody. If they only knew the work I had to do to erase who I was taught to be, who I was told to be, and walk in my truth, I'm not undoing that for anybody. It's like, love me the way I am or don't. Family, friends, collective, whoever, you know. It's like, we all have our own truth. You know, who's anybody to tell me who I should be, how I should move, what I should do, who I should love, you know. It's like an awakening's about cutting all that out, just not giving a fuck about what people think, because truth is, misery loves company, and I'm not the bitch. That's how I feel. But it's like falling in love with like realizing who you are, and falling so madly, deeply in love with who you are that you move different because you want different, you know. It's like good and evil. Aren't we all both? Isn't there a light and dark side, yin and yang, right? It's like walking one's truth and even embracing the light and dark aspects of you. It's loving you completely authentically for your light sides and your dark sides. People, I actually just got, I want to say got into it with my mom, but yeah, I did. And I told her, you know what people find the most threatening about me is that I walk in my truth. I am who I am right here, right now, in church. The exact same person. I will talk this way. I don't care where I'm at. I will talk this way in the grocery store. I will talk this way in my home. There is no mask. I'm exactly who I am all the time. And that makes a lot of people uncomfortable because they wear masks. It's like, let's say at church, and Mrs. Goody Two Shoes, they know the Bible from front to back, but as soon as they get home, they're gossiping. They're talking about somebody. They're talking about how certain people are struggling and laughing about it, and they're cheating on their wives, their husbands in the dark, and it's like drinking and smoking pot and everything else, but on Monday, Wednesdays, and Sundays, they're perfection. They're perfect, but they're not. See, they're wearing a mask at church, and it falls off at home when nobody else can see. That's not me. I will flat out tell anybody anything about me. There's nothing anybody can tell you about me that I won't expose first, that I haven't exposed. I don't hide my demons because I've learned to embrace them. And when you learn to embrace your demons, it's like, yeah, okay, I do this, and if you don't like it, don't do it. But am I going to hide what I do? I don't care what it is. I do not care what it is. I am me, period, point blank, in the pastor's face, and my mom's face, and my dad's face, my friend's face, online. This is who I am. This is who I'll forever be. People don't have to accept me. They don't have to like me. They don't have to love me. They don't have to accept. They don't have to. I don't care. I don't care. I love me. And that's what going through an awakening is about, is walking in your truth, making decisions, moving differently, becoming authentically you and embracing it, even if the world's against it. Loving yourself completely, Sorry. It's like knowing you're good enough for you and for the Most High, then fuck everybody else. You're good enough for you. You're making what makes decisions that make you happy. Fuck everybody else. That's how I feel. Because right here, prosperity, personal issue, reaching resolution, energy gain, momentum. It's like once you decide what makes you happy and the only opinion that really matters is you, smooth sailing from there, right? It's like, sitting in spirit for me, it's like, it's healing. Doing things your way and embracing yourself and breaking generational curses and creating new, I don't want to say I'm trying to think how to say it because I hate this word. Okay, I don't really like the word traditions because if we're honest with ourselves, most of the traditions that have been created kind of suck. They've kept us in toxic cycles. But it's like, let's say everybody around, let's say let's say this is the case, you date toxic women, 222 on the phone, and your daughter sees you doing that, and then eventually you fall in love with somebody that is so not toxic and so beautiful, and even though your family was against you dating this person or your friends, they seen you make that move that was not accepted to anybody around you, but Spirit said again, that wasn't accepted by anybody around you, but changed your life, and your daughter, your son never seen you mistreated again, but only loved and embraced. That creates that for them. That teaches your child, it's okay to move differently. It's okay if people don't accept the decisions I'm gonna make, because that decision that people around me may not make may be the best decision I ever make. And I watched my dad or my mom make that decision that everybody was against, and it was the best thing for them. That's going to teach your children to not be people pleasers off rip. That's a generational curse broken in their face, and they're going to just move differently because of it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like we don't just want our children to pick up, you know, the negative aspects of us. Wouldn't we rather our children see us make different decisions that benefit not just you, but the generations after you? You know? Yeah, look at the bigger picture. The answers you need are coming. This could be through this message. It doesn't have to be. A time for healing. And it's like balanced spirituality and practicality is in the reverse. Like, who says anything has to be balanced? Who says anything has to be what we're told it's supposed to be? If we do that, we'll stay in cycles forever. The same cycles, generation after generation, right? A new start is coming. That's your new beginning. Emotions running high, whatever has you. I feel like before you went to these people about this decision, you were thinking about making this move. It's like you already had your mind made up. Conclusions within reach. It's like you had your mind made up. You were so hyped and so happy about it. You know, the chemistry was there. Free yourself. You were you were ready to leave this toxic person, I'm hearing. Healing family issues. This was healing for you. You already made the decision. Let your friends help you is in the reverse. It's like what I'm seeing right now is, I wish I would just taken that leap of faith. Like, I wish I wouldn't have even asked them. Like, just did it. Worth waiting for in the reverse. Like, you don't want to wait. You do not want to wait. You do not want to wait. But you're realizing, like, going to your friends was not you loving yourself first. Even if this isn't a wedding, I feel like for somebody, you wanted to marry this person that day. Like, if not before then. You know, like I said, it could be a job, family, whatever. It's like you were committed to a decision. But how you really need to look at that is you were committed to yourself. Because I feel like for once, I'm hearing, say it again, for once, Spirit said, for once, it's like you went with your gut and you were going with it and you were excited, you were hyped. For once, you had your decision made up for something that was good for you. You were committed to something. But you know, it's like you're realizing your friends' decisions kept you in a toxic cycle, you know? So instead of, like, making that move and going towards true love, you listen to them, and it's like you're, like, regretting even, like, going towards them, because you're realizing if it's about religion, like I said, let's say you're religious, they're spiritual, that doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. This person's beautiful to you, or this thing. It's like, whatever is in your past, you don't want to go back to it. You don't. Because you're very passionate about whatever this is. You may view them as an angel, or they may view you as that. You're going for it. I feel like you're going to go for it. I feel like you're kind of like, you're nervous to make the first move. So maybe you're not. I feel like you're gonna step out of your comfort zone, though. I feel like you're used to people, like, reaching out to you. what was that word I just heard? See, maybe used to people like chasing you, like after you, but I feel like this person, like, you're realizing that the people who, you know, the women before this person, I mean, you're a woman, could be a man for somebody, but it's like you're realizing, like, that's not who you want to be with. This person could be a leader. You're realizing, so maybe you look at this person as a leader, and maybe they're like motivating you to become a leader in your own life. Yeah, you know what to do and make a decision and detach. So you may be detaching from, you know, people, places, and things that keep you from. But it's like anything that keeps you from being happy. You want peace. You want peace. You want something that's going to help, not only help you grow. I'm feeling like healing, nurturing. I feel like you don't have to think about this. It's like, you know what you want. You know what's not good for you. You know what keeps you stagnant. You know what's not a blessing to you. You know what's not going to help you grow. You know, keep doing the same thing. You're just going to stay in the same cycles. You're ready for change. It's like your friends may not want you to change your lifestyle. They may not want you to love people. But you don't want to be dependent on these things that are bad for you. You don't. You don't at all. And they want you to think. They want you to question yourself about what you know is meant for you. They don't want you to wake up. They don't want you to heal. They don't want you to do what's best for you. They want to keep you stuck. They want everything that's easy for you. If you have to put in a little work for something, it's usually worth it, right? So it's like, just, you know what's good for you. You know what's going to make you happy. And, you know, like, during my awakening, I've lost the one friend, like, I ended up having, she passed away. And it's like I do spend every day alone. I don't go out. I don't go out and be crazy. You know, my kids are my life. But you know what? I have my spirit team. You know, I have myself. And, you know, I don't have anybody I really interact with in the physical per se, but, like, I have so many friends online, like, that if I need, you know, good advice, like, just, I can go to them, and it's 222 on the phone. Like, it's like, people are gonna leave your lives because, like I said, excuse me, it's like spirit confirming. They didn't want what was best for me, you know, even family, friends. I barely even talk to my family anymore, but it's like, I've gained, like, this peace because I know what's good for me. I know it's going to make me happy, and I'm not going to stay attached to people who bring me down, get me in a negative mind frame, that don't want to see me do better. Like, I'm good. Like, I'll spend every day alone. You know, and I have soul family that like I've attained through, you know, I've, like, met, you know, online just through my awakening, and I don't barely talk to them, but, like, I know that I can reach out to those, you know, people, and they're going to give me good advice. They're going to want me to do what's best for me, and they're going to want to see me grow. And if that meant letting go of my so-called friends and my so-called family that wanted to keep me stuck and toxic like them, I'm good. Like, you know, you can meet your whole new tribe, and they'll want you to do what's best for you. They'll want to see you grow. They'll want to see you, you know, just heal. And sometimes, like, especially, like, if you're a twin flame, I know I'm one, and it's like our families damn near, like, want to keep us, you know, it's like, and it's just because they were kept, you know, like, in cycles, and, like, it's like we're born into, it makes me think Lamar's song DNA. It's like born in the beast. I think that's how he said born in the beast. I think that's what he says. And it's like we're pretty much like born into a family. It sounds horrible, but it's like that have like spirits attached to them that, you know, it's like they weren't able to break those curses, so it's like they're so adamant on keeping, you know, the way things are. And even our friends are like that, and it's like born within the beast, I think is what he said. But it's like we're meant to break away from them, you know, and we could be, you know, friends with people like 20 plus years, and they just weren't meant to be in our life. They were, you know, it's like they were just trying to keep us down, and it's okay, you know, it's okay to not stay connected forever, you know, to just talk to them like once a year, or, you know, it's okay. It's okay to, you know, make better friendships and family. You know, that's not your blood. Like, it's okay. It's okay to grow. It's okay to heal. It's okay to break curses and, you know, do things differently. It's okay, you know, because like my family is like really, you know, like I said, religious, and it's like we fight about it. Like, I'll walk away and not talk to them for a month or two, you know. It's like, because I know like I'm gonna stand on who I am, and it's not to hurt them. It's just like how I look at it is the divine is somebody different for everybody, and I don't need to tell anybody who God or the divine is. Like, to me, I don't need to tell anybody. I want them to see God when they see me, you know, when they encounter me. You know, I don't want to be somebody who can quote the Bible. What I do want to be, and what I am, is a literal walking example of God, of His grace, of, you know, I'm not a doormat, don't get me wrong, like, I do have limits, and He wants us to, but I want to be an example of divine love and not judging anybody, because I know I'm not perfect, so who am I? You know, I love seeing, you know, looking into different religions, and I love seeing people embrace, you know, who God is to them, even if it's not who God is to me. You know, we're all the divine's children, and it's like we all have a purpose and a different journey, you know, with Him, and it's like I think it's all beautiful. So I really don't judge, you know, people, and that's what the divine wants, is literally for us to be a living, walking example of His love, and, you know, that's what I do. I don't think, like, you know, it's like, even if I were to go by religion, like, there's one judge. Okay, number one, there's one judge, right? No sin is greater than the next, right? Okay, so let's say there's somebody at church and they're like, oh, she's a hoe, right? Oh, guess what? You're gossiping. Guess what? She's just as bad as you are, and you're just as bad as her. So, like, that's why I don't. Spirituality, I've noticed, like, for me, is instead of going like this, talking about people and judging people, I go like this. Like, what can I do differently? How can I move differently? What healing do I still have left to do? How can I be a better example of God's divine love? Like, you know, it's completely different. I don't want to judge anybody. I'm not the divine. However, it does bother me how people like are hypocrites. Like I said, I'm not perfect, but I embrace my imperfections, but I'm out loud with them. I will tell anybody anything about me, and I don't care. Nobody will ever be able to say something that I won't put out there first. I walk in my truth, and a lot of people don't like that, because they want to be somebody here and there in a different. I'm not going to do that. And, you know, once you start to walk in your truth, you become a really big threat to people. And it's not that you're a threat to them. It's like you make them realize how not authentic they are. And you know, that really bothers people. Because it's like, once you walk in your truth and you are exactly who you say you are, it makes people realize, like, how fake they are. You know, how big of people pleasers they are, how big of hypocrites they are. And it'll actually push people away from you. But that's good. It's good that when you're healing, that it's like energetically, Mother Gaia, the universe, God, however you want to put it, will pull them out of your energy. Because you just don't align anymore. You know, and it's so other people can come in. Like, things have to leave your life that aren't meant for you, so things that are meant for you can come in and flow. You know, things that are meant for you will flow easy. Things that are not meant for you will make things complicated and make you question yourself. And I just want to keep you stuck. All right, Taurus, this was a really long reading, but it is what it is, my loves. I hope it helps. I hope it resonates. Healing message for you guys. I know I didn't like pull cards. I literally grabbed out of my bag and Spirit said read from the bottom up, so that's what I did. All right, my loves, have a blessed night. I hope this helps. Bye.